Ooh, I tried to take notes, man. Tried to be sophisticated, but I ain't that type of dude.
You tried to be sophisticated?
Tried to be sophisticated. Try to do it the right way and take notes. That's not me, man. I'm not a note taker. I just got to go off the dome. You know what I'm saying? Got to let the thoughts flow freely.
All right, well, talk about the end there. You give up a basket, and then Jamal goes and takes it right down the floor.
Yeah, I mean, the defense, they weren't set. I guess they might have been anticipating a timeout because, that's typically what you do when you got the ball down last shot. But, I mean, that's also the best time to attack a defense when the defense isn't set. So, Jamal, I saw Coach Sampson, like, he's typically in those situations, depending on the flow of the game, like, will tell him what to do in those situations. So, in that game in particular, I felt like it was best that he didn't call a timeout and let the guys make a play and just live with what you coach. And fortunately enough, him and Jamal had that dot and made that connection. Jamal pushed it, got a good shot off, man, got a good look, and ball game. Man.
You don't particularly care for Memphis, do you?
The crazy part about it is schools like that, like granted, it's a competitive environment, it's trash talk, but it's like, that's the type of game. Just imagine how many kids that are in high school that watch this game today. And it's like, man, that's the type of games you live for as a competitor. Like, I always look forward to playing Memphis. I know they're going to be amped to play us. We're always amped to play them. It's always a lot on the line. And then it being their senior night, two of their best players are from Houston, who I know personally. So it was a lot of pride on the line, and I'm just glad we were able to come out with a win, man. But I always respect Memphis as a program and what they've been able to do. And hopefully they can continue to elevate.
What do you mean what they've been able to do? They can't win a title.
But they bring out the best in you, man. Like,
for sure.
It's every time we've played them, even when I played, my teams, sometimes it felt like 8 guys was on the court. Like, they're able to they bring such great energy. They're able to play such at a high level, and it's just like, this is kind of, that's why I love when they play us, because we see the areas we may need to improve, because we're going to bring our best and they're going to bring their best.
Yeah, a lot of U of H fans would say right now there were 8 guys on the court with the way they call the free throws or
absolutely,
the personal fouls.
You are right.
They got 23 attempts on the line. U of H got 12.
Yeah.
And then Reggie and Jarris each had 4. So let's go back to the beginning of the game. U of H came out really possessed. They were playing really well, and that has been a struggle for them this year, to play well early in a game. They didn't do it against Wichita, but they did come out today. They were focused. Why is that? Is it because of the moment?
It's just it's Memphis. It's kind of like, I really do believe it's one of those underrated rivalries.
I agree with that 100%.
Like, no disrespect to any program, but let's say we were playing a team that might have had a losing record today, and we might not have been as geeked to play them, but we're always geeked to play Memphis, just because they bring out the best of us. And I felt like the keys today would have just not to be able to withstand their pressure, not turn the ball over. And there was a couple of times in the first half where we could have went up 10 and we turned it over. They ended up scoring, and the lead is now 6. So I thought that was important, just trying to limit our live ball turnover, staying out of foul trouble, and just getting easy shots. And I felt like in the first half, whenever we were able to break through the pressure and settle into our offense, we always got a look that we wanted.
Yeah. So let's talk more about that. Getting the looks that you want after you break through their pressure. Is that's the whole ball game, right?
Yeah, but
they're athletic, but
they're athletic.
Once you get set in the offense, you have a lot better chance here, right?
But it's more so like whenever they do the run and jump, it's kind of like you just got to attack it. Because if you sit here and keep trying to reset and run your offense, they're just going to keep throwing another guy at you. And before you know it, you're going to be trying to chunk up a throw-up shot with 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and nobody's going to win like that. So it's like whenever the press tells you to attack, you attack, and whenever it tells you to settle down, you settle down. And it's Memphis, they do a great job of imposing their will defensively. They got a lot of long, active guys as well as quick guards who understand their system, who've been in their system for a long time. So I was just glad that we were able to, when it mattered, we were able to make the big play.
When you started that answer, CBS just replayed that last shot, and my TV is right behind my camera here, and I was just like, oh, well, I want to see that again. But what a game! I mean, that's going to go down as one of the best in this rivalry. I mean, a year ago or 2 years ago, I don't even remember, when Tremont Mark hit that last second shot, the game winner. Fabian calls game underneath the basket. And Tremont makes it from midcourt, and then to do that again this time in Memphis, that was pretty impressive. And that's just U of H's second win in Memphis in 20 years.
Second win in Memphis? I mean, because I remember I think my sophomore year, it was actually a similar to that. We were up 2, they had the ball last second, and I blocked out the game-winning 3-point attempt. I just feel like every game against Memphis, it will come down to the wire. There is no blowout. It's going to be high energy, hot, fast pace, all that.
It was a blowout last year in the AAC tournament.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, these regular season games, for sure, it's pretty nuts. And that was the graphic that CBS showed that one win since 2003. Might be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely wrong, for sure.
Okay, so let's go back to the second half, the start of the second half. U of H just came out like they didn't have really any energy.
Yeah, and that's what Memphis can do to you, man. It's just like, because you have to exert so much energy because you just want to shut them up. You know, in the first half, you give so much, and then it's like in the second half, start of the second half, we were kind of lethargic and drained. While at halftime, looked like they were charging their batteries. You know, they came out with a whole different intensity, a whole different energy. And I think we started off our first 5 possessions were 4 turnovers and a block shot. So it was just that's typical. It's very not like us, you know, in any form or fashion. But like I said, I was glad. I was glad that we were able to withstand the storm, make a couple of big key defensive plays down the stretch. And, you know, just have the basketball gods on our side today, man.
All right. So tell us about Substantial, what you're doing over there.
You know, just same old. Just trying to now I feel like I'm at the level where I can build something in order to give back to the university that's given me so much, you know. So trying to make this new, well, actually it's kind of underway now, this new subscription, which is going to fund my first scholarship that I'm going to give to a U of A student. How much it'll be, I'm not sure, but anything's more than nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So basically this is just hopefully this is just the start of something that can continue to grow and become something that's a 5-figure deal, 5-figure scholarship in the future.
Awesome. And give us a website address.
Website address is the number 1 substantial.com. You'll be able to find your favorite gear, your soon to be favorite gear. Just give it a look and you'll love it instantly.
All right. And Galen is also an ambassador for HOU NIL. HOU NIL is our way of, there he goes, of giving back to NIL. Not everybody is a Mattress Mac. Not everybody can give 6 figures, but we can do a little bit, and we can build something together. And HOUNIL.com is our way to do it. We're building it through content, through different adventures with players. The off season, we're going to have a blast. But here in the next month, we're going to continue to build, and we're going to try to grow this as our fan and alumni supported NIL. So check it out at HOUNIL.com. There's great content there, just like at GoCoogs.com. All right, so you said that Memphis was recharging their batteries, and U of H looked just drained. So how did they flip the switch and get out of that? Because there was that 10-0 run right there in the middle after Memphis. It just really, I don't want to say shot their wad, but they had given everything they had to build that 5-point lead, and then U of H erased it almost immediately.
Yeah. It's just sticking with the culture, man, just not being rattled, just being mentally tough. And mind you, 18,000 fans plus who want revenge, or, you know, like just that arena with that type of energy, that amount of people, like it's you hear it. Like
Yeah.
you call a play, like I've played in the FedEx Forum several times. You call a play and you're right in front of me. I can't even hear you. That's why, like Coach Sam, we had to implement the board, like because you can sit here yelling, but I can't understand a word that you're saying. And just being in that type of environment with the stakes that are there with Memphis trying to get a better seeding, better for March Madness for the NCAA tournament. It was a lot at stake here. We obviously want to get the highest seed that we can get. So I guess that's just that crowd that just fed them, and they fed off the energy that the crowd was giving them for sure.
Jim Nantz mentioned it a couple times that he thinks that this win gets U of H a number 1 seed. I think that's true. I don't think you can take U of H off the one line. They're 29-2 going in the conference tournament. Nobody in the country has that record. No one in the country is undefeated on the road or neutral games to this point. I just think U of H is if it's not a Sharpie, it's a pen, or it's no more pencil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think U of H has locked that up. They've still got a week until they find that out, week and 4 hours until they find that out. So in the second half, U of H went to zone quite a bit. Yeah. Is that just because of how exhausted they were? Is it because of what Memphis is doing?
My guess would be just foul trouble because, granted, we played
That's
physical.
A good reason.
We play physical, but sometimes we can get a little bit over physical with not wanting to get beat. So just trying to keep guys out of foul trouble. And zone is, granted, it's a different look because we're a team that's known to play man-to-man the whole 40 minutes. So, the zone was to try to prevent some foul calls because guys are getting, especially our bigs, they were getting them at a high rate. So I think that's why Coach went to the zone. But, I mean, like I said, if he's gotten us at this point, so it's like, well, however he feels, whatever he thinks is best, I'm going to roll with it. But my guess would be that's probably why they went to the zone, knowing him.
Yeah. So Javier Francis came into the game and got 2 quick fouls in 2 minutes. Jawan had 2 early fouls, and like I said, Jarris and Reggie had 4.
I was hoping that didn't happen with Jawan, just because what he's been able to do for us offensively as of late, him being on the court is such a threat because he can really pass the ball and create out of the post for the shooters on the outside and guys cutting to the rim.
Yeah, he did not. I don't think. Yeah, he did not take a shot in the game. Can you believe that? That is crazy.
But it's like when games like that, if your offense isn't going, that's not the game to try to find it. Like if it ain't going, all right, I'm gonna just go with whoever has it going tonight because that's not a game you want to try to test something and see if it works. It's too much on the line.
And every possession, genuinely matters.
Literally,
and people say that so often, but I think in this game, obviously, it was the case.
Literally came down to the wire. Literally,
this team did not attack. It felt like in the second half, they were comfortable passing it around the perimeter and looking for a perimeter shot.
Mm-hmm.
What is the reasoning for that?
My guess would be Memphis was kind of pushing us so far out because they pressed the ball almost full court. So it's like they're making us run our offense so far beyond the point that we run it. And essentially kind of makes it pointless. So it's like, therefore, we got to try to manufacture shots on our own and combine that with the mixture of guys being fatigued and not being on the same page offensively. So we let a couple of early possessions go at the start of the second half, which kind of, in turn gave them momentum. But like I said, man, the bottom line is win. And in regards to March Madness, man, the bottom line is just to get to the tournament. Whether we be the overall 1 seed, 4 seed, 16 seed, it don't matter. I like our chances against anybody, anywhere.
I agree. I think this team has every opportunity, but it worries me that they get up against a really athletic team, kind of like a Memphis in that second round game. Maybe you get like an A&M or somebody like that who's got a lot of athletes, but not as high a seed, and that could be a big problem. But I think it's going to be a 1 seed. I think they're going to go into this week really having nothing to prove, just to play to win another title, and it's so rare that you get that opportunity that the conference tournament isn't this huge thing for seeding. And I think this week is really about just putting another title
Yeah.
on your back.
Well, yeah, and also you want to just you don't want to give the committee another reason to knock you because we know the
Well,
big Power Five bias. They're saying teams losing this time of the year still going to be an overall one seed, whereas we've lost 2 games on the year. So it's like you don't want to give them any reason to like, you know what, we have no choice but to put these guys on the number one or wherever we're going to put them. So, like I said, man, as long as we handle our business, win out, play the right way, and learn on the fly, I think we'll be good. And in regards to playing a team like A&M and like an athletic team, is just a team like that wouldn't be as familiar with us as Memphis is. We've played them
right.
probably. We played them so much that if a team like that saw us, they'd be overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that we can run because they had our Coach Sampson. He is a offensive coordinator at heart. You will lose every game of tic-tac-toe, chess, checkers against that man. He will pick you apart. So it's just like I just have the utmost faith in him and his ability to make adjustments with our team going forward.
And teams just, until you face a Houston team, you just don't, even watching all the film you can, you just don't understand what you're getting into.
There's going to be a specific set of plays that nobody's even seen yet that they're going to run this month. And they're just going to throw everybody. It's like, what can we do? With so many counters, there's so many this. It's just like, what can we do?
Yeah, that's nuts. So
yeah.
A commenter named Nuke, I don't know what that means, but
Sounds explosive.
Nuke, yeah, it's explosive. Yeah, he is explosive. So he says this is a replay from Wisconsin last year, which was a game in Las Vegas. It was the Maui Invitational, where U of H, or Wisconsin scores, U of H goes down the floor, and Jamal just loses the clock. He didn't have the clock in his head, and he felt horrible about that. He told you and I about it, our first NIL thing. And then he comes back with Wichita State that year, and he makes the play. Well, he did the exact same thing here tonight, is he makes the play and gets his team a win. And I can't imagine how that locker room has been for the last 20 minutes, but that had to be pretty fucking special. So we're going to go into this tournament. GoCoogs will be there starting Thursday. We'll have 3 people there, photographers, writers, feature writers. We're just going to do everything. If you're willing to do it, we're going to keep doing this through the conference tournament. And maybe it just won't suck as bad next time.
I want to piggyback on that Jamal shed learning lesson.
Okay.
I'm just me talking from experience now.
Yeah.
I'm sure after he did what he did against that in that Wisconsin game, the amount of film that he might have watched I can't even imagine, because there was times where I made mistakes like that early in my collegiate career. Coach Sampson, he knows he knows the difference between the times where he needs to put his arm around you and time to constructively criticize you. And that was a time that he probably put his arm around Jamal and probably showed him the importance of being aware of certain things in certain situations. So it's like by him having that learning experience and Coach Sampson being able to handle it the right way, giving it what he needed to give to it, Jamal will probably never make another mistake like that again.
I don't see it happening.
His growth from that point till now is like it's almost like if against Memphis, I don't feel comfortable unless the ball is in his hands. It's like that's how much confidence, that's how comfortable I am with him having the ball, making decisions for our team.
I like it. I like it.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
All right. Thank you, Galen. I appreciate it. And that was the final score, 67-65. Cougars come out on top of Memphis for the second time this year. Go 17-1 in the conference. That's the most conference wins in school history. Ties the most overall regular season wins in school history. Those are with your boys. Big numbers. Big numbers.
And it was some like some of the things that Jamal and Marcus do. It's just like, man, the chemistry that you're able to witness is like people have no idea how many hours of practice, hours of film that go into making that stuff look as seamless as it does, man. It's just I'm just so glad to see our team doing well, man. I'm a fan.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Galen. And check out onesubstantial.com. GoCoogs.com and HOUNIL.com to help U of H athletes with their name, image, and likeness. Thanks so much. Bye.